La Bastille Fortress. The most notorious prison in Europe. Its patients have their memories confiscated when they check in. These memories are returned when they have served their sentence. Unable to remember their previous lives, La Bastille's prisoners are convinced that there is nothing to escape to. This twisted penal system is directed by Madame, the ferocious governor of La Bastille. Absolute master of their minds, she is the only key to access the servers in the Memory Confinement Center. After my arrest, it was there that I was locked up with the other errorists. Now Edge is sending me back to liberate my comrades and my confiscated memories. I have to admit, the prospect of returning there fills me with hope and dread in equal measure.
Hi guys, this is Dormouse03, and this is Remember Me on Memory Hunter difficulty, episode 4, as we break into La Bastille prison.
Only Madame has access to the Bastille memory servers. Trace the bitch down. Find out how to get them.
Yes sir, Edge sir. We shall do it. So, this is the prison where Nilin was being held at the very beginning of the game, and we didn't get to see very much of it during that section. It was very, very short, and so you're going to see a lot more of this environment right now. This is actually a pretty lengthy chapter.
You break me out, and now you expect me to waltz back in there.
The Errorist movement is counting on you, Nilin. You must break into those servers and free their stolen memories. Free your memories. This is where we rise from the ashes and fight back.
Drones. And no remembering to help this time.
Right. So, this is probably one of the lengthier episodes of the game. And you have these drones here at the beginning, and you can't really see their little cones of where they can see, but if you kind of use that little section over to the right, that will help you be able to avoid them. And then we're immediately thrown into another fight with some of these invisible guys. So you do have a light that you can turn on and off. And since I don't have any of my little special ability meter built up just yet, I'm going to be using the light to be able to see these guys until I can use my Sense and Dose. Now you don't have to use the Sense and Dose to fight these guys, because like I said, you can just keep turning the light on and that way you can see them. But Sense and Dose definitely makes it a lot easier, and now I've built up my meter, so I should be able to use that to stun these guys. And get a bunch of good hits in on them. And so it looks like I've gotten all but one. And so I'm going to use him to fill up my health a little bit, since I got a little bit low. These guys are really boogers for getting in some cheap shots in on you, because they have no exclamation point above their head, but you really have no time once you see that thing to get out of the way. So they will get in some cheap shots on you probably. But the good thing about the combo system is that you can use those healing combos to get it back. So the end of that fight, not too bad. And that's a good section, again, if you're going for that achievement where you need to kill a bunch of those. I think it's like 20 or 25.
A drone destroyed by Leapers. That must have been some battle.
I wouldn't stand a chance against one of those machines.
There's an idea. See if you can't recover the detection module in this broken drone.
So yeah, there's
Lucky
that
you.
achievement to get the,
Your Sensen can
dang
now
it!
indicate
Stop
any drone
talking!
captors you might come across. Very handy.
Okay. So yes, the achievement to get like 20 or 25 of those invisible guys without using Sense and Dose. That's a spot where you can definitely get in a few of those kills. So now we picked up that part from that drone, and we can now see the little circles underneath these drones, so we can tell kind of where they go and where their area of vision is. So I'm just following this one around because I believe the exit is straight in front of me here. Yep.
La Bastille. The prison with a human face. Admire the lie. Blind machines serving an automated administration.
That smell. That noise. It's getting under my skin.
In order to get into the prison, you'll need to intercept an empty cell and use it like an elevator.
I can imagine that if, like, the first memories that you really have are of being in this prison, it would be really difficult to go back. Knowing that they sort of stole your life from you, basically. But the point is that we're going to get that back.
It reminds me of something really bad. Oh. I remember this place. The hopelessness. Like I was never gonna leave.
The lower down they keep you, the more of you they take away. They strip memories like old prisons used to take away belts and shoelaces.
How far did I fall?
Hey sis, Nilin, this place has no hold over you anymore.
Yeah, it only has all of my memories. You know. No hold at all. Like, can you imagine having parts of your memory just taken away? You know? It's gotta be just weird, you know? That you remember bits and pieces of things, but not the whole thing, and you'd feel like you were going crazy, probably. Which is what it seems like, you know, they're going for here. It's sort of part prison, part asylum, is what it kind of reminds me of. These little sentry bots. I love all the little, like, cleaning and repair robots. I think that those are so cool looking. Like the different colors, and then some of them are the big, like, boxy ones that look like, I don't know, a vacuum cleaner or something.
Sergeant Vaughn, as much as I appreciate your services, I do nonetheless require a minimum standard to the specimens you bring us. I need healthy specimens, not trauma victims!
Yeah, whatever. Just fill out a damn form.
Appointment notice. Madam and Dr. Quaid are required
Just
in the
in time.
interrogation block.
I shall mention your slipping standards to Madame. See what she wants to do about it.
Oh, gee, would you? That'd be just peachy, prick.
I know him. Sergeant Vaughn. A bad man.
The worst. He knows the security system inside out. Its glitches, its backdoors. Follow him and steal his secrets. It's the only way you'll get close to Madame.
Hello, beautiful ladies. Time for your cavity search.
Yep, and I can definitely see something like this happening in a place like this where, you know, they're taking away people's memories anyway. So to have someone abuse their prisoners, you know, thinking, oh, well, they're not going to remember in the first place. But I guess the idea of this, and I don't know if it says this in the cutscenes and stuff, or if this was, I think this was information that I read in some of the little journal things that you can find, is that, you know, the idea of this place is they take away your memory when you go here, and then they kind of wipe your memory of your stay in prison, and then give you back your memories, you know, that they took away from you in the beginning. It's kind of like when someone would go to prison now, they would take all their personal effects, and then you'd get that stuff back once you leave. They do the same thing with memories. So one thing that this makes me think is, you know, that's kind of neat, you know, they're sort of, I don't know, it's ensuring people won't escape, right? Because they don't have really any memory of being outside of prison while they're there, you know, and then they get all that back once they leave. But it's like, is it even a deterrent if you're not going to remember your stay there? You know, you get out and you're like, I don't even remember being there, whatnot. But then I guess that would be this, like, it would be kind of traumatic to have that kind of a memory hole, right? Like this whole chunk of time where you were in prison and you don't remember what happened to you there. You know, they could have done anything to you, as it seems like they did, based on, you know, these lovely individuals. It's like, what was done to me, I can't even remember it. They stole that from me. And that would be pretty frightening, I think.
Come on for exit. What did you do to me?
So I suppose it would be a deterrent, right? Like, you don't want to go and get your memory messed around with and have things done to you that you're not going to even know what they were.
Knock me hard.
So these guys can be a little irritating because there are a ton of them, you know, in these rooms. But as long as you sort of use the lockers and things to run around and separate them into groups of like 2 or so.
It's for everything you did to me.
It's okay.
That's for everything else I can't even remember.
There you go, sis. You got the keys to the kingdom. La Bastille is yours.
Nice. And we did away with that jerk face, which is good. My stick drift really messes me up sometimes. Like, I'm trying to synchronize, but the stick is like moving me forward when I don't want to be. Ah, the perils of an old busted controller.
This is Orly 1242, engaging fugitive.
Alright, so we're going to be introduced to some different mechanics now. So these guys have a shield, and you can use the junk bolt, the heavy spammer attack, to break the shields from shield guys, which is cool. And you'll definitely see that come into play here a little later. Right, so here's some more shield guys, and there are a couple of them in this room right now, so you want to, you know, take one out, then put some hits on some of these guys, and until your spammer builds back up, and then you can take out the other. And then just take out these guys as you normally would. I'm gonna start using the overload thing a lot more now, because these enemies are much more damaging and stuff, so you'll see that I start to use that a lot more. Alright, the logic bomb. So the Sensen, the Espressen thing that we get now is called a logic bomb. And what that is this, like, bomb that you plant on an enemy, and you should get out of the radius of it. I didn't quite make it. But what that does is sort of, it'll break any shields off of any of the enemies that are in, you know, the radius. And it also stuns people. And it might actually kill some of the less, you know, heavy enemies, but don't quote me on that. But it definitely, you know, puts some hurt on to some of them.
I need to reload. I can't see anything. You won't stop. Black screen. Is that all? You're no match.
Yeah, and per usual, using the last guy to refill my health before I take him out. Always a good idea.
When I get my memories back, can we leave Vaughn on the shelf? I don't want to remember assholes like him.
The past can't hurt you anymore, sister. Focus on the here and now.
So that's an interesting concept too, like the idea of removing like traumatic memories, and whether or not that would be a good thing, right? I don't know. I mean, I think in some ways it could be, because, you know, there are people who may benefit from not remembering bad things that happen to them.
Expand, please.
Sergeant Vaughn has been attacked. Total memory wipe.
I want that intruder found. Double patrols. I'm activating the brain drain. The only person allowed to play with memories here is me.
So this thing is the brain drainer, a fun little device that if you get in its sort of cone of vision, it will just automatically wipe all your memories.
Just stay out.
It's not a good idea. Not a good idea to get seen by this thing. So you want to use these columns for cover and kind of make your way over. To a particular cell, and you can probably move a little bit faster than I'm moving, like maybe move 2 columns at a time. You just want to be careful about not getting caught out in the open while that thing is moving forward. Or it's not moving forward, it's spinning around is what you don't want to get caught in. And so here you find
button and whoosh. Cell's on its way to maintenance. Just
his
the
little
place for an uninterrupted
the secret
winks.
The secret button in the urinal toilet.
Attention, cell compromised. Please dispatch to maintenance.
So yeah, I was talking about sort of, would it be a good thing to remove trauma? Because I mean, some people would say yes, but then you don't know what the side effects of that might be, right? So
the interrogation rooms aren't far. Get going.
So you don't know whether, like, if you were then missing that memory, you know, how would it influence the rest of your memories, right? So like taking out that one thing, how would that influence everything else? And it could be for the better, and it also, you know, it could make the rest of those memories of everything that happened after that confusing, because the way that your memory works is, you know, it's consolidated with every new piece of information that comes into it. So like the way that you see your world and the memories that you form are, the new memories that you form are colored by every experience that you had before the present, right? So if you take, you know, an experience that was sad or traumatic or painful or hurtful, you know, that happened in the past away, how would that affect all the memories, you know, that you made that came after it that were influenced by that experience, you know? Would it make the way that you felt about certain things change? I mean, I think the idea in this piece of fiction is that, you know, all of those memories would then get reconsolidated. All of the ones that are made after the fact would get reconsolidated to, you know, incorporate any new information that's put into your memory, or, you know, to account for what your feelings or the way that you thought or behaved would have changed if that experience that is taken away had not been there. So that's an interesting concept, and obviously I don't have the answer because it's not possible, right, to extract particular memories. And so there's been, like, I don't think actual research on something like this, but the closest thing, I guess, would be, you know, people who have memory loss for a certain period of time. But even then, that's tricky because, you know, generally it's not just a one, like, particular thing that's changed. It's, you know, they lose all their memory up until a certain point, or lose the ability to form new memories or something. So it's a little bit different. Interesting to think about, though, as we clear out this room. And those those robots that you saw me shoot, you definitely want to take care of them first, because they will be incredibly annoying if they are up there shooting at you while you're trying to get rid of the rest of the guards. So you definitely want to try to, you know, replicate what I did there, in taking them out as soon as you can by using your jump bolts. As I derp around this room trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to go up the stairs that I was just on. But for whatever reason, I'm, like, uncertain. I thought that was the way that I came from, but it wasn't. And so the derping continues. Here you go.
Okay. The interrogation room must be this way.
Hello, robot sweeping the floor. Carry on with your job, my friend. Make it shiny. Into interrogation room 6 we go. It takes it a second to like load this
You memory hunters
door.
are all so naive. Using your gifts for petty theft.
Little shrew, I'm going to teach you the real power of memory games.
This interaction is so funny because it's like
when
she
I'm
knows that
with
you're
you,
there.
You'll think you've always adored me.
No, never.
Silence! In time, you will willingly give your life for me.
It's now or never, sis. Snatch the access to the prison servers.
Going to adore a new patient with such vitality.
My God, Edge. That was bad request. They've got him.
Don't get distracted. He'll be freed with all the rest. Follow Madame's remembrance to the memory servers.
Alright, so we'll talk about what just happened there in the next part. I will see you there. Thanks for watching, guys.